What's happening, YouTube? Ha ha ha. This is Bud. I just give him the handle right now. He don't know I'm gonna call him Bud. His real name will probably get out, but you know, whatever. We're gonna call him Bud. My handle is Cowboy. Somebody has to give you your handle. You know? Alright? Alright, Bud. So you Bud. Ricky Ticky gave me my handle. But anyways, we're here anyway. Got something in the mail. We just bought a radio. Found out it was a ham radio. So I convinced old Bud here into getting his ham radio license with me. And one of the first things you gotta get when you want to get your ham radio license is that right there. And this right here is the ham radio licensing manual. So we're going to be studying this stuff together with you guys. So we haven't looked at the manual, and I'm basically just going to give our first impressions of it, and we're going to kind of go through it and check it out, and you can check it out with us. So you got an idea of what's in there. So here we go. Check this out. Sorry. I actually really want to get get a better video setup than what we got here, because what we got here is not a very good setup. But it's going to have to work, because I want you guys to. Here's the thing. When I started playing the guitar, I thought, man, I know I can play the guitar, you know, because I've watched Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'd watch him do his things with his fingers. I said, I can make my fingers do that. And I did pretty good. And kind of let it go just because I'm busy raising Bud. But I know I'm going to get proficient in this, and so I don't want to miss my first little walkthrough with it. So, you know, first thing that I want to point out is that all the questions on the exam are in here in this book. This is the 3rd edition, and it's good until June 30th, 2018. So if you're watching this after 2018, it's no longer
probably change.
It's the test questions are going to be different, but I would imagine they're going to be somewhat the same. So this will still be helpful, you know, as you go forward and study. So I'm just kind of looking this over with you. Check out the table of contents. Got the forward, when to expect new books, your invitation. So it's got a membership to the ARRL. And the ARRL, what's that? What is the ARRL, Joe? Oh, Bud. I mean, well, I knew it wouldn't last long. Your real name would come out. There it is. So, Bud, what is the ARRL? You ain't got a clue either, do you? Mm-hmm. I didn't either, but I can see it sitting over here. It's the American Radio Relay League. So we're going to knock these out as we study for the test. and we'll probably make videos on each section, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't know. So anyways, let's check it out. Welcome to Amateur Radio. What is amateur radio? FCC and licensing. Amateur radio activities. I kind of picked a little bit of this stuff up. Radio and signal fundamentals. So that's going to be where it's starting to get in on the meat. Electricity, components, and circuits and electricity. And circuits, electricity. Oh, and circuits. I've never been very good with electrical stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I want to do this, is because I want to get good at electrical stuff, and I want Bud here to get good at electrical stuff at a younger age than I did. And I think this is a good way to learn. Propagation, have no idea what that word is, do you? I think we're going to learn. We should, at the end of this, we should know what propagation is. Antennas and feed lines. I'm thinking coax. Amateur radio equipment. Well, that's good to know. So what else we got going on here? Communicating with other hams. Ooh. Everybody, I've heard people say that that's scary to do, and sometimes they could be rude. That's a bad reputation to have, that ham radio operators are rude. You know, well, they're not rude. I think what it is you go through and you learn all this stuff, and it's not a very welcoming community, from what I understand. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my first impressions of just going through YouTube. But you know what? That could be totally wrong, and hopefully it is. It's probably like any kind of social environment. You know, everybody's kind of standoffish at first until you get to know them. Anyways, licensing and registration. That's always fun. Call signs. See, we're just citizens. We're simple citizens now. So you're Bud and I'm Cowboy to people like Ricky Ticky, you know. The riffraff, them trucker types, you know. A riffraff is good. There ain't nothing wrong with a little riffraff now and then. But when you get licensed, you'll get a call sign. And that's kind of like the radio. You know what a radio call letters are? You don't ever listen to radios. WDLM.
Oh, yeah.
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 Right. So,
Mix 96, stuff like that.
well, no,
No.
they have specific call signs, and they you know, they'll have to give them out at a certain time of day. I can't remember what radio stations is. It's like once on the hour, every hour, or something like that. And I think as a ham, it's once every 10 minutes. So you'll get your own call sign, and like when you talk on the CB, it's Bud, right? Hey, Cowboy, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. And then your call sign will be your handle. It'll be your new handle. Operation regulations. Control operators, identification, interface, third-party communications, remote and automatic operations, prohibited transmissions. That's just stuff you're not supposed to do. Like talk like a hillbilly, like I like doing. I like playing with language, you know. Language is a fun thing. And being a truck driver, I've been all over the country, and I've picked up different slang from every place I've ever been. And my nephew was riding with me one time, and he hears how I talk when I get in the truck, and it's natural. I don't even realize I'm doing it, but hey, you know, I just it's fun. It's something to pass the time. You know, you learn a lot about solitary confinement in a semi because you're locked in a little box for a couple weeks on end sometimes, and you go a little nuts, and you got to do something to keep yourself sane. So you start talking like people from Longburg, North Carolina, you know, because they sound funny. You know, sorry, Laurenburg. I used to haul out of Libby Owens Ford down there. But, anyways, back to the book. Technical class exam questions pool. Okay, so these are your test questions. Okay. Supplement. Choosing a ham radio. Well, I already bought one. Everybody tell me it's a good one. But I didn't know it was a ham radio when I bought it. I thought it was a CB, so that tells you how much I know. So is it a good one? I'm thinking probably. I like it just because it's got pretty flashing lights on it. You know what I mean? Ooh, there it is. There's your member benefits for joining the ARRL. I don't think they'd mind me showing this to the world. I'm not going to show the whole book. And so there is a how to use this book. That's good to know. We'll have to read that. Welcome to ham. So, see, guy that looks like a homemade radio of some kind. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Don't you think? Hey, it's YouTube. We like pictures on YouTube, don't we? But anyway, we'll just kind of skip along. Ooh, there's a little bit of schematic action. Looks like it's picking up speed here. Ooh, electricity. Oh no, there's schematics. You're gonna start learning what a schematic is. You know what a schematic is, Joe?
Oh, nope.
That's what a schematic is, bud. Right here. Basically telling you how electricity operates. We're gonna figure all this stuff out. Ooh, that looks like scary math, don't it? Scary math and equations. You know, school's not fun, and you learn all this stuff in school. Those waves look like synthesizer waves. That'll be interesting. And that kind of looks like what's in my old amplifier. I got an old hand-wired amplifier. That's another reason why I want to start getting into this stuff. Skip ahead some pages. Ooh, you know what skip is, Joe?
Yeah.
What?
Where it bounces off the like,
atmosphere?
Yeah, atmosphere and goes back down.
Yep, just like that. So if you got an antenna here, and there's an antenna there, and you're on the other side of the world, somehow, you know, the gases of the world are held in by gravity. And you know how when you look through a glass of water, things get distorted? That's probably something that's going on through here. And so if the conditions are right, you can get skip and pick it up on your antennas. Skip ahead. Making contacts. Using repeaters. That's kind of neat. You know what a repeater is?
I feel like I should know.
Probably should. The only way you get to know is by reading this book. We're going to have to go through there and go through it. These are first impressions. So that looks like some kind of frequency stuff. And I ain't even gonna. Well, there's CB band. That's what this is. TV channels, FM radio broadcasting, AM radio broadcasting. So basically, what this is like a huge rainbow, kind of, because rainbow is a spectrum. You know, where is visible light on here? There's probably a section here that I'm not seeing with visible light. No, we're talking about radio, so it may not be. Anyway, why wouldn't light be on here? That's a question I have. YouTube, maybe you can answer that in the comments for me. Why is light not on here? Does this just not go that far? There's ultraviolet. Visible, right there. It's in there. Okay, forget it, YouTube. Live and learn, man. That's what you do. You ask questions. You look it up. Oh, this is interesting. So, these are the areas. So, like when you get your call sign, like what we said, it's going to have a number in it, and you can tell where somebody is at based on the number. All right. So if you get somebody with a number that says K5LR, something, if there's a 5 in there, he's from down here someplace in this zone. I wonder how they use it overseas. It's a good question. Why is this go 1 to 0? What about, I know there's people all over the world. Write it in the comments if you know. Don't know what that is. Boy, that guy looks like he's ready for war, huh? Alright, so let's go to the test questions. Ooh. So you got a glossary in here too of all them words, like, what was that, propagation?
Probably in there.
Let's look it up. What is propagation? Propagation, what is it? Read it.
The method by which radio waves travel.
Still don't know what it is. Actually, YouTube, go ahead and explain that in layman's term for truckers, and little kids, right? Propagation. Man, that bugs me. I want to know what it means. The method by which radio waves travel. The method. We'll think about it. No, we don't want to waste too much time. So here's how the
Chapter 11 question pool.
Chapter 11 question pool. Oh no, that's Chapter 11, and this is the question pool. Chapter 11. Yes. TN4. Okay, so T1A. So you got the question right here, and then you got the answer right there, and it tells you the page number. So you can go back if you take the practice test. I've heard also, this didn't come with a CD. I've heard that they come with a CD.
That might be on the next last book.
I don't know. So where you can take practice tests. But look online for practice tests. Or just keep doing this. Right? What do you think, Joe? What's your first impressions of all this?
Sounds exciting, actually.
Exciting?
Yeah.
You're excited?
Not like school.
You're not scared? You're not turned off by all this gobbledygook?
The only thing I'm scared about is that test the next month.
Yeah.
But we'll study for it.
We'll study for it. We're gonna do what we can, right, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why I got this book, since we're learning together, if you're watching this video, because I wanted to know what the first step when you decide, hey, I want to learn a ham radio, what should I do? There's two things that I discerned. Ooh, that looks like a tough radio, don't it? Huh? Man, that's pretty sweet. Wouldn't know what to do with it if I had it. There's two things that you should do when you want to learn about ham radios. What are they, Joe?
How to work it.
That would be helpful. Yeah. I got a feeling that most people start off knowing a little bit, but we don't. So we're going to be starting as ignorant as anybody can possibly be getting into this stuff. But two things that you need to do if you want to get into ham radio. Number one was get this book and get the current book for, if you're, this is the third edition. The third edition is good through June 30th, 2018. This is the technician level. Okay? You start off as a technician. This is supposed to be fairly simple. Then you go to a general, and that's just general knowledge. And I guess a lot of people just stop right there and don't go beyond that because there's not much you can do with an extra. But what can you do with an extra? What can you do with the technician? What can you do with the general? What can you do with the extra license? Write it in the comments if you know, because, hey, I don't know.
Learn from you.
I don't know. Holy cow. There's a mirror.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
Check
gonna say,
this out.
They're confused. They'll be confused. How did he get down there?
What's going on? The bar here is made up of
Mirror.
a mirror. Yeah, that's it. So from cowboy to bud. What do you want to say in the beginning of this? What do you want to tell the people out there to do?
Oh, subscribe and comment.
Subscribe and comment.
Mm-hmm.
How about a big old thumbs up?
That too.
You give them a thumbs up? There you go. Sold to the man in the funky hat.